Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm an Atlanta area bankruptcy attorney, and today I'd like to answer the question, can I file bankruptcy and continue to run my small business? And I've gotten several calls over the last few months from folks who owned a small business. Sometimes it's literally a one-person shop. Other times it's 2 or 3 people, and maybe my client has a 30% interest in the business, but the individual, my client, needs to file bankruptcy personally and is worried about what's going to happen with his or her business. And the answer to whether you can keep running your small business, it's really going to depend on the facts of the situation. If, for example, you're a sole proprietor, there's no corporate structure, or even if there is a corporate structure, you're the 100% shareholder, for the most part, the trustee is going to consider you and your business one and the same. And what you'll find in those situations, in a Chapter 7 case, the trustee is probably going to tell you to stop taking any action with regard to the business and basically shut it down. The trustee's interest is going to be to liquidate the assets of the business so he will have money to distribute to creditors. And realize that the trustee is going to assume that since you're in bankruptcy, you're probably not the best person to be running this business anyway, and they'd rather see it shut down and liquidate the assets rather than have you continue to run it and perhaps see a reduction in the value of the business. And I've literally had situations where somebody had a small business, he filed Chapter 7, and the trustee shut the business down, took the inventory, sold it, sold off the goodwill. Basically my client was without a job. And again, not a great situation if you're not prepared for it. In a Chapter 13, you have a little more leeway because, again, a Chapter 13 is a repayment plan, but you will find yourself filing reports, at least if not monthly, quarterly, that describe exactly what's going on. Here, again, the trustee's concern is that every month that goes by, you're operating that business, the value of that business may be going down. If the trustee senses that your business is not doing well, and that the cash flow is decreasing and that the value of the assets is diminishing, he or she may move to shut it down, to convert you to a Chapter 7, to liquidate what's left. Again, we're in bankruptcy, and if you're in bankruptcy, the assumption is that let's try to get what we can while we can, as opposed to assuming somebody can make a business work over time. Now, if you're a partner in a business, let's say you own 25 or 30% of a business, what happens then is going to be a little bit different. In a Chapter 7, the trustee will try to value the business, figure out what it's worth, then ask the other partners to buy out the bankruptcy estate. Again, that's raising money for the business, but in most cases, the trustees are not going to want to shut the business down because you have other people involved in it, and especially if they can get a fair price for your interest in it. In a Chapter 13, again, you'll be able to continue running the business, but you'll have to follow these reports, and it will become somewhat burdensome for your business partners. So again, not a great situation necessarily. Again, trustees are concerned about loss of value of a business. If you keep running it, that it may continue to go down, and they will basically do anything they can to preserve what's there. Realize as well that bankruptcy thrives on stability. And I think that one of the issues when you have an ongoing business is you may have a good month or a bad month, or a good 2 months and a bad 2 months. And compare that to a situation where you're getting a paycheck. It's much easier to administer a bankruptcy case when you have steady money coming in and there's not a lot of variables about what's going to happen in terms of income or expenses. When you're running a business, especially a small business, it could be a lot of variables. It could be 1 month could be really good with income, the next month could be same income at much higher expenses. And again, bankruptcy is just not a great place for that sort of whipsaw type of action. So that's basically the answer to the question, can you continue running your business if you file bankruptcy? The answer is a great big maybe. This is another situation where you want to talk to a bankruptcy lawyer early. Don't wait until you're facing a foreclosure or a tax levy or something like that. Talk to your lawyer early, make plans. There may be even some pre-bankruptcy actions you can take that are legal and appropriate, that would insulate your partners, or that would maybe allow for a winding down, that you'd maximize your take from the business. The point is, talk to the lawyer early. I'd rather talk to somebody 6 or 8 months early and then plan for something that could happen next year than I get a phone call and say, I've got to file bankruptcy tomorrow. Because it's just your options are much less and the predictability is going to be much less as well. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube or a like on Facebook. Please let me know if I can answer any questions for you about this or any other bankruptcy matter. Again, I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I appreciate your attention to this video, and I wish you well. Thanks a lot.